This is Alan Bronstein. I'm the iPhone video guru. I'm author of Make iPhone Movies Everyone Loves. I'm here with Dick Jordan today, who's going to be assisting me in interviewing Lee Foster, who is a member of the Bay Area Independent Publishers Association. When we're finished with the videotape, I'm going to take and edit that material in iMovie, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to be using the video footage. I'm going to be using photographs that Lee has given me. And I'm also going to be going onto the internet and pulling down some other photos that are relevant to the topics that Lee is discussing in his interview. So without further ado, let's move forward and I'll show you how to edit in iMovie. The first way that I start an edit like this is I start to take cuts that we have here, the 5 different sequences, and I look for little sound bites. And I start to play around with them on the timeline and put them into an order that allows me to have the narration track all unto itself. And one of the things I've done in here is I've actually cut up bits and pieces of all of these different narrations, move them around to put them together into a whole new construction from what we had originally done with Lee as part of the interview. I'll then show you another section of this where I start to paste in a lot of the photographs on top of this to start to make this much more interesting. Okay, so we're back. As I mentioned before, I have not touched the narration track since we last looked at it. What I have done is I have imported a whole series of photographs, which you can see up in here. And I've taken some of those photographs and put them down into the timeline so that they are actually in the video as we watch it. Now, one of the things that I've done is I've used the Ken Burns effect in order to do this. The Ken Burns effect allows us to take a still photograph, like this photograph, these women, and we can actually show movement through the photograph as if the camera were panning through it or tilting or moving through it, either in a close zooming in, zooming out. There's a variety of different things we can do. So the first thing that we do is we take and place this picture on the timeline like you see here. You locate where the playhead is, right here. And now you click on this little cropping diagram up here at the top in the center of the screen. You click that, and you can see here right now it says crop to fill. All right, now basically what it is we have this one picture that fills the whole screen. Now if we want to create movement in it, we click on the Ken Burns effect. Now that allows us to establish a starting and an ending to the movement as the playhead moves through. So now if I click on the start and I want it to be, let's say I want it to be a small group of these women, like here, okay? Let's raise this up just a little bit. Like so. It's even, let's say we even wanted a smaller group than that. We bring it down like so. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the ending, and now I'm going to say that this basically goes through from the small group to reveal the full group of women. So if I move the playhead back here to the beginning of this, and I play it now, so we start out with the small group, and I click on it. So I've done this with a number of these photographs in here. Another thing that I've done is that in addition to the photographs that Lee provided me, I've also gone online and captured some other images, especially images of the space shuttle launch and photographs from the Hubble Space Telescope. And I've added these into the narration track as well to illuminate what Lee is talking about, because I felt that the photographs that he had given me didn't really relate to what he was saying at that moment. I've also gone to his website and actually taken a screenshot of his website. So when he goes and talks about the fact that his book is now an audio book that you can download, I've actually shown that on the screen. Here you can see that where the various screenshots are. There's also a number of titles in here. For example, here is the title, Conversation with Lee Foster. And at the end, I've also included some of the credits. So here, let's go ahead and play this. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you need some assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to assist you. So here we go.
What is this book about? Well, this book travels in an American imagination. The spiritual geography of our time is really about every man, because the media that everyone sees every day is about the whole world. That world comes into our world, and I've used 25 of them in the book, 25 places in the world as jumping off points to talk about what is wondrous and what is horrific about life in our time, and I provide one photo from each location. I think there are many wondrous things in our time, but what I especially love is the whole concept of space flight. We can almost all agree that this is a truly momentous and wondrous aspect of our time. When you think that only 66 years passed between Kitty Hawk and putting a man on the moon, it is truly remarkable. So in the book, I went to Cape Canaveral, and that's one of my chapters. Today, when I look at pictures of the Hubble telescope, for example, and what it shows us about the universe that we live in, those are some of the most significant images and art objects of our time, I think. This book is published in a special modern way called independent publishing or self-publishing. Past books that I've done have been done with traditional publishers. I like the freedom that I have now with my self-publishing books. This book, for example, is a printed book. It's also an e-book. It's also an audiobook. I've got it up now on my website with a release of all the sections of the audiobook as a website book. So it's this kind of freedom and opportunity that makes self-publishing and independent publishing so exciting to me.